Welcome back to Grow with Angie. Today we're going to be talking about the Hortuzz. This video is sponsored, so they sent me this tabletop hydroponic system, but I only agreed to do it as long as I could be totally honest with my viewers, and of course they agreed. And then there was, what could I give back to you guys? So stick around and I'll tell you what that is a little bit later. I went ahead and I recorded my unboxing. Then I'm gonna film a little bit as my lettuces grow, and then we'll come back right here and we'll talk about some of the positives and maybe a negative. So if you're ready, let's go ahead and get this unboxed. This is the box that you are gonna get with your Hortuzz, and this is the Novo 8. Let's get this box open. I did tell them I wanted white. Here's a little manual with all of your instructions, and then a quick instructional guide right there. And this is your grow deck, and this one is indicated for water. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Feels pretty solid. And let's test how high this goes. Well, it's really easy to lift. Look at how cute this is packaged. Happy gardening, happy gardening, happy gardening. Let's rip into these. It's all of our little nut cups. Oh, and these are actually pretty nice. They're clear, a little bit more of a flat edge on them. And here are your growing medias. It says seeds not included. I'm okay with that. I don't mind planting my own seeds. These look very similar to, I think they're a little bit shorter. And then this is a whole nother kit. Looks like humidity domes. Oh, they give you little caps. Well, that's genius. So if you're not gonna plant all of your spots, they give you covers. There's a lot of them in here. Oh, this is for the water. Little cards or stickers so you can write what you planted and the date. There's a little pair of tweezers for putting your seeds in. Another little plug. Okay, I just sliced these boxes open. Looks pretty standard for normal systems. And then this one is plant food, more plant food. And this is what's interesting with this is you can hear these. They're dry plant food. And I believe you're just gonna add water and then shake it up. And I think that's everything. Here is your pump, and there's a little slot right there for it to go. And it's a pretty good sized tub. Oh, there's a little plug right here. See, this is really cool. This is a drain plug. So that's really nice to be able to drain this next to your sink. And it looks like this might just be another one of those. So you got a spare. Make sure you put that somewhere safe. This little spot on the front, it is for your water. So that's kind of nice too, that you can actually see your water. If we take a closer look at these settings, this button is your power button, and you're just gonna turn it on, and then your pump and your lights will start. This is a water pump button. Then you have a vegetable setting, and you have a flower and fruit setting, but there's gonna be a different spectrum color on your lights. You can see they have different colored LEDs underneath. We'll go ahead and get some stuff planted and see what it looks like plugged in. With the plant food, this cap actually has markings on it, and it says 15 milliliters. And this we're gonna fill up to 100 milliliters. There are lines on the side. I put my water in here, and I did use filtered water. Be patient with this. It takes a while to dissolve, but it finally did. These are all nice and soaked and wet, and I really like the way that they feel. They're almost more sponge-like, and I'm gonna go ahead and put in my lettuce. Okay, everybody's in there. Now I'm going to fill up my food, and it squirts out very nice. And that's also where you can add more water if you need to. Put my little plug back in. I'm gonna turn it so I got the cute little, if you can see this, they have a little printed watering can on there, which is adorable. And I have the perfect place to put this, so let's move it over and let's get it plugged in. I have to say, I am digging this window. You can see your pump, you can see your net cup and your growing media. So if any root or anything starts to grow, you can watch that. Now the humidity domes are on and this is all the way down. Look how close this is. This is only a couple of inches right here and very close to the top of the net cup. That's gonna give you some really good warmth for the seeds and build up some humidity in your humidity domes. And I can feel the vibration in it that the pump is running right now, but it's quiet. I have my big units running right next to me right now, so as soon as those shut off, I will do a sound check on this. I really want to lift this off and show you guys how cool this is. See the little top right there? That actually is like a little wave maker, and it's circulating the water. You can see it moving. This truly is a deep water culture tub with a standard hydroponics standalone tabletop. We are 1 week in and you can see I've got some really good lettuces growing. Look how exciting this little window is. Oh, and look at my cute little sign. All right, 2.5 weeks, you guys. This is crazy. Look at how beautiful this is. And I don't know why, but I'm getting way more red on this red romaine than I was in my larger units. Don't know if it's their food mixture, what is making it look this great. I do recommend grabbing this if you need to extend it up and not grabbing from the top. And I will explain that in the final review. I don't know, what do you guys think? Should we give this a green thumbs up or a brown thumbs down? I think I'm finally ready to give you all my overall opinion. Now that you have experienced the Hortuzz with me, let's talk about what my final thoughts are. As you saw, I pointed out the whole pump system. Some of your other tabletop systems will run a pump from underneath, pushing the water up and over top of the net cup. This one is truly a deep water culture. Now that's a lot like the deep water culture tubs that I have in the corner. I really love that they took two of the best worlds and made a deep water culture tub that is much like some of the other tabletops that are on the market. Now also is the light system. There are 4 different spectrums to the lights. They are red, blue, white, and far red. The red light encourages the photosynthesis, which is going to make your plants greener and brighter. The blue light increases the plant's ability to use the stematol, which what? They are little pores that are in your leaves that open during the day and close during the evening, and it helps with holding in the water so the leaves don't totally dry out, and it allows for the uptake of carbon dioxide. There's your little science lesson for the day. The white part of the light is just a nice, soft, natural daylight, imitating more of what would be outside in your garden. And the far red light is there to help promote great flavoring in whatever you're growing in your deep water culture Hortuzz. The overall power that this is going to use is 21 watts, and the light bar is only 17 watts. So you're talking half of a light bulb. One thing that I think is an amazing positive is how far this extends. Make sure you're holding the base of it while you're sliding it up and down, or again, holding it while you're pushing it back down gently. With the water pump, it runs a half hour on and a half hour off. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know that I am a huge proponent of fish tank wave makers in my bigger units, and that's really cool that this kind of has one already built in. In a lot of the other systems, the net cups have to go in and sit kind of a certain way. These literally are just sitting there and you can pick it up, and I can easily just say, this one I want to keep an eye on, so I'm going to scoot this one to the back and I'm going to put this one to the front. Also, I have not experienced any algae. There's no covers, there's no stickers, there's no anything. So I don't know if it's something with their food that's helping to cut down on the algae, if it's the way of the lights, or if it's the sponges that come with it, but that is a major positive for me. Now let's talk about maybe a negative. This is 16 hours. I run everything else at 14 hours. So I have my timers come on and go off at a good time for me and for my lifestyle. I have them come on at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and then they're gonna be shutting off when it's time for us to settle down and watch TV. With this one, I can't control that. I can't turn it down to 14 hours. I have no control over how long the light is on. So say this is off and I get up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and I come out and I turn it on. Now I have a 16-hour time period of when it's gonna shut off. It is very easy when you are sliding this up and down to accidentally push this back. You have to be very careful of where you are touching because these buttons are so sensitive on the top. Be careful if you're taking the time to get up in the morning to set this for your 16 hours, that if you're playing around with it, you don't accidentally push that and now you have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning again to turn it back on. What I have found that has been the easiest thing for me is I do it manually. I come out in the morning and when everything else is kicked on and I'm making my coffee, I have shut it off at night, so I walk over, I tap it on, I let it run all day, and then it is in sync with all of my other systems. But if we're watching TV and I'm like, wow, that's really bright, I'll just come over and tap it off. So overall, the fact that it comes in white or black, but as you can see, I'm a fan of white, I adore this. Quite honestly, I could probably have 3 or 4 of these. I'm happy with it. Now what you guys have been waiting this whole video for, what did I get for you? If you purchase one of these off of Amazon, use the link down below, and then when you're going to check out, where the section is that you can put in a coupon code, type in 10 off Angie. I'm gonna take this baby and put her back where she belongs, and we'll see you on the next episode.